Good morning, everybody. Period 6. How are you guys doing? I hope you had a good weekend. Okay. I understand a lot of you are involved in AP testing, so I'm keeping the assignments kind of short and sweet and the lesson videos kind of short and sweet. But I do still need to move along. We are beginning our poisons topic, which is really interesting. So we're going to do the intro to poisons today, and this will continue as kind of lead us in towards the end of the year with a project um, and a cool activity on the Poisoner's Handbook um, and some cases. All right. So please, this is important, and I am, you know, June 1, I'm not going to be giving you any new information after June 1, but we will be continuing to do stuff in class up until the end. All right. And I told you, unfortunately, we're not going to have any time to get to DNA, which really, really is a bummer for me because that was it was the last unit, but we don't have any time. Anyway, all right. So I am going to share the screen with you today. And we are going to start our discussion on poisons. But before I do that, guys, don't forget you had an assignment on the Tylenol murder case. There are, at this point, 3 people who have not handed it in, and that was due on 10:30 at 10:30 this morning. So please be careful. I mean, we're heading towards the end. Please be careful of when due dates are. I know some of you are involved in AP and are not getting to our class time until at the end of the day, but you are still responsible for the work. Okay? So be careful of that. All right, so poisons. I love this topic. What better way to end on poisons? Yes, we are going to be doing burying the chicken today, this week. Well, not this week, but we are going to end. Remember, I told you we're going to see maggots on the chicken. Those of you that took forensics, it's the last thing we're going to be doing. Watching body decomposition, all right? But anyway, before then, we're going to be doing poisons. And let's chat a little bit about poisons. Understand that you need to watch this video, and then there will be questions and assignment due on Wednesday or Thursday, I believe. Please keep an eye on that. You do have questions that you need to complete. So please be careful of that. All right. So toxins and poisons. Poisons is any substance that causes a change or a disturbance to an organism, whether the organism is an animal or a plant. Okay, think about it. What poisons are there for plants? An organism is a living thing, any living thing. And you know that all those 5, all the 5 kingdoms of living things, plants, animals, bacteria, fungi, all right? So a poison is anything that causes any kind of disturbance to a organism, any living thing. Plants are living things, and what are poisons to plants? Pesticides, herbicides, all right? And of course, poisons to us could be any kind of toxin, any kind of chemical that causes our bodies to not function normally. So we're going to kind of poison, toxin. What is the difference between a poison and a toxin? A toxin is a poison that is produced by an organism. For instance, snake venom is a toxin. So remember, a poison is anything that causes a disturbance in an organism. A toxin is a poison that is produced by a living organism. A snake venom. If you have a toxin, any kind of insect sting. And of course, toxins that are produced by plants, poison ivy, poison sumac, poison oak, or any other kind of toxin. Okay, so toxin comes under poison. Again, we talked about this. How do we intake poisons? There's many different ways. You can ingest a poison, and when we have seen some of our forensic files, we've seen that people can intake poison. Remember what a poison is. It disturbs the normal functioning of a living thing. They can be eaten. Information, 90% of all poisonings involve, especially in children, swallowing household products or medicine. That's a lot. Okay? And you will see in Poisoner's Handbook in the late 1800s, early 1900s, a lot of murders and killings were done by giving poisons to individuals. Crazy. Poisons can be inhaled, like carbon monoxide poisoning. Okay, inhaling something that will cause the cells in your body or tissues to not function normally. In bioterrorism, during wartime, a lot of nerve gases. Agent Orange, okay, was type of poisoning. Injected, yeah, you can inject a poison. Heroin is considered a poison. It has no medicinal use. It is a poison, and what you're doing when you inject it, you're injecting a poison. And of course, poisons can be absorbed through the skin, especially toxins from plants like poison ivy, poison sumac, poison oak, or lots of times any kind of other poisons that can be absorbed through the skin. Okay, so let's talk about the history of poisons. All right, way back, 399 BC, Socrates. All right, that's what people use. Remember, there was no technology. They didn't know how to make guns then. All right, so the way people harmed other people, other than throwing stones and hitting with large sticks and maybe stabbing, was poisoning. Okay, by the 17th century, poisoning was extremely common. And the most common poisoning was arsenic and cyanide, which are heavy metals. Okay, arsenic is known as the inheritance powder because when people wanted to gain fortunes many, many years ago, they would kill, and they, in order to gain fortune or an estate, they would poison their loved ones, not loved ones, with arsenic. And that's why it's called the inheritance powder. And in the 1800s, chemical analysis was really, it was then when they first developed chemical analysis to identify poisonings in individuals. Okay, so let's talk about the first type of poisoning, pesticides. Again, is what is used to disturb the normal functioning and cellular function of plants. All right. Pesticides are definition. They are poisons that are used to kill organisms that threaten plants and food crops. An example of a good pesticide, an example of not a good pesticide is DDT. They will spray pesticides on living animals, and mosquitoes are animals, is DDT, but they will also spray pesticides on plants. Okay, and these chemicals lead to affecting the neurotransmitter acetylcholine. And that is a neurotransmitter that is sent to the nerves in a body, okay? And it can lead to muscle spasms, anxiety, rapid heartbeat, diarrhea, okay? So pesticides, okay? Again, they will put pesticides on plants to prevent little insects from eating the plants, but also pesticides, they will do mass sprayings for mosquitoes. DDT is the chemical inside insect spray. They don't really use DDT anymore because it leads to these muscle spasms. Okay, I'm going to stop right here. All right, and we are going to continue talking about poisoning on Wednesday and Thursday, but I just don't want to give you a whole lot of information because I know you guys are busy with the AP exams, but we are going to stop right here. So please check out the questions. There will be questions that are due on Wednesday or Thursday about what we have talked about today. All right? So that's it. Okay, do those questions.